when it comes to the markets, the stock markets, a lot of people out there concerned about what's going on because it affects our everyday lives. But a lot of people not understanding the dynamics of it, how it works, and how these hikes in interest rates affect everything. Now, a lot of people see what's happening with the trade war here between the Trump administration or the U.S. and China. A lot of that has been long overdue. And there's a lot of different areas that you can dive into in terms of the issues between the United States and China here on the world stage. One thing I want to point out here is the Fed chair talking about continuing to hike this rate. This could be the catalyst that brings down the market. And I want to explain this a little bit so people can see how this could happen. They say that just 2 more rate hikes would put the central bank above the neutral rate. Now, the Fed's long-term projection of its policy rate has risen from 2.8 at the end of 2017 to 2.9 in June. The September rate hike is not the last of this year. They're saying, well, he actually said last time that he expects another one to come through in December. Now, a maximum tolerable peak for the Fed funds above the neutral rate has been associated with bear markets since the late 90s global debt boom. So when you go back and you look at what they do with continuing to push the rates higher and higher and higher past this neutral point, there's been a bear market that follows every time. So why would the next time around be any different if they're heading in the same direction, is what I'm here to tell you guys. Now, of course, this is going to go into 2019 and the whole cycle. And they say that this could undo any good that Trump has done in terms of the economy. And see, this is what people have to realize. It doesn't matter who they select to go into that office. It's all these other political people and all these other tiers that are making other things happen. All the cameras and lights are on one individual, one goon out here, while all the rest are running around making all these things happen. They're the ones printing the money at the Federal Reserve. They're the one passing laws in the political ranks, your senators, your governors. Yet everyone wants to turn a cheek to that, it seems, and place all the blame or all the attention on one individual when it's a lot larger than that. This is a huge orchestration. Listen to what Deutsche Bank says, the same DB bank that got caught manipulating gold and silver. They said that every Fed tightening cycle creates a meaningful crisis somewhere, often external, but usually with some domestic fallout. And let's look at some of the repercussions of what's happened throughout history. Going back in history, 2004 to 06, the Fed tightening looked benign, but the U.S. housing collapse set off a contagion across the country. And this was a result of what they were doing. In the late 90s, the Fed started tightening, including the Asia crisis. It also had to do with the LTCM in Russia collapse. And when tightening resumed, the pop of the equity bubble. Early 93, 94, that tightening phase included bond market turmoil and the Mexican crisis. The late 1980s, tightening ushered in the S&L crisis. Some people may not recall or remember any of this stuff, but it happened. Maybe before your time or something you just don't remember. Greenspan's first fumbled tightening in 1987 helped trigger Black Monday. So there is a repetitive pattern throughout history showing that when they go down this path of continuing to hike up these rates, that there is a domestic fallout shortly after. So are we seeing anything that's going to change this and stop anything from happening like it has in the past? I don't see anything that's changing it at this point. It's going down the same path, and we should prepare for the repercussions of this going into 2019. And this is going to be a very interesting time. From 2019 into the election process of 2020, we are entering a moment in time that we, the people, literally, we have to be on our top game, eyes open, not fighting amongst one another. If there's ever going to be a chance or a time in history where the people have a chance to save this country, take things back, flip the script, it's within this window. If people do not get up off their tail and make a move, it's going to continue down the same old path. But this is the latest. I'll leave a link Make sure to tune into Underground World News Live Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern on Dabu 77. Be breaking this down further over there. Much love.